Dave Seaman, Standard Speaker Sports Editor, back in the studio with us here at SSP TV for another Dave Day. And Dave, in the Standard Speaker a little while ago, you ran an AP article. It was from David Hugh of the Chicago Tribune, all about people in Chicago and Cubs fans in general appreciating Joe Maddon right now while he's with the team. He's in the last year of his contract. There hasn't been an extension given to him yet to sign, so possibly his last year in Chicago, maybe some speculation, but saying, really appreciate Joe right now for the success that he's had. I mean, Dave, they've won a World Series, they've won division titles, they've been to the playoffs, they're in first place as we're recording this right now, and I think that David Hugh just got it right on with this description of Maddon. He said, Maddon is the Uber driver whose stories make every ride fly, the doctor with the one-liner that eases the tension, the bartender who keeps talking after last call. He is fascinating, he is funny, smart yet self-deprecating. Players say he is as respected and relevant as ever. No, Maddon isn't for everybody, and some have grown tired of his act, but he still wins. He also still has a knack for making each day of a 162-game grind different. Have you heard anyone else sum up Joe Maddon so perfectly? You think he got it spot on?
I think he hit that right on the head there. I mean, that describes Joe perfectly. Joe's never taken himself too seriously. Obviously, we've both been around him a long time now, and and he's been that way because he had that long grind to make it to the majors, and then when he finally made it to the majors, and got his shot to be a big league manager at the Rays a few years back. I mean, he stuck and he's been successful. Like the author puts in the article, I mean, the Cubs have done nothing but win since he's been there in 2015. You get to the NLCS, how many years in a row? You get to the playoffs every year, I believe. And they win the World Series in Chicago. Like, I mean, how often you hear about that? Like, Cubs fan never had to experience that, and they got to experience it with Joe at the helm. But Joe's not going to change. Win or lose, he's going to go out there. I'm sure he hears the speculation. They're not immune to it, that's for sure. And, he's going to go out there and manage, and he has a talented team. Like you said, a team that's in first place, battling for first place, in playoff contention, and they have the experience to get there. Once they get there, they can make things interesting for teams like the Dodgers and also the Braves, and the Brewers. They're rival in the Central, but they've been there. They've experienced it before, and no doubt Joe's experienced it, and he wants to take them far away this year.
Well, Joe Maddon and his Cubs will be in Pennsylvania for the Little League Classic at Bowman Field in Williamsport. That is on August 18th, taking on the Pirates. Pretty cool game there, Dave. A few days ago, our Sam Millicent Jr. was out. He got a weather shot, and it was Hazleton Area High School football team. I'm doing some conditioning in that at Harmon Geis Field. And Dave, it's an important time of year for all these teams. I mean, Mike Joseph, I know, has his team. They had the basketball team at Hazleton Area playing during the summer. They did a really cool event at Ott Miller Playground where they were playing outside to help reopen that park after some renovations. But a key time of year for all these teams to get in shape and to really lay the groundwork. Dave, it sounds like a cliche, but I mean, we heard that even with the Hazleton Area softball team when I was talking with their coach, and he told me, Bob Bertoni, and I said, when did you see this team as something special? And he told, it was way before the season started. When he saw his pitchers working in the offseason. So you think it's more than a cliche when you hear these players and coaches say, oh, I saw it in August, I saw it in July.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think it really makes a lot of sense because those players, it's not only it's the trust that you have in one another. Like if my teammate's working hard, I'm going to work just as hard as he is. And you get to a 3rd and 1 and you need to make a first down to keep a drive going, or you need 1 yard to make a touchdown. You trust your offensive lineman because he worked with you in the summer that he's going to make that block, or the quarterback's going to give me a good handoff, or the pitch is going to be spot on, or a pass is going to be right to the receiver's hands because they did those extra drills in the summer. And I think there's a lot of credence to it. And I think, like I said, the teams that really work hard in the summer, they're teams that are most successful come later in the year.
Dave, a few weeks ago, I don't know, I forget how long ago it was now, but Joe Nahas from Marion Catholic signs with the Chicago Cubs. He worked hard, was in the Cape Cod League. I mean, any way you could find your way to success in sports, I guess you find that opening and try hard to get there. And he really dominated at Marion, and a good time for him and his family.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You get that opportunity, you're going to search any way you can to get there. And, I watched Joe in high school, and he was an outstanding pitcher for a district championship team. He moved around a little bit on the college scene. He started, I believe, somewhere in Maryland at first, and then he went to Georgia, did well there, made a name for himself there. Wasn't drafted, but another guy might say, well, okay, well, maybe I'll wait till next year. No, he went to the Cape Cod League. He was dominant there, and he got the opportunity as a free agent to sign with the Cubs, and now he has a chance. I mean, that's all you ask for. If you're a baseball player and you have those kind of ambitions, you just want that opportunity to someday, put on a Major League Baseball uniform. And in Joe's case, he's got the opportunity, and see what happens.
Good Sports podcast coming soon featuring Blair Thomas, and make sure you're reading Dave's work in the Standard Speaker pretty much on a daily basis, and we'll keep you updated on local sports right here on Community NEPA News and SSP TV News.